Got some special guests joining us tonight, Adam and Helane Ramsay. So Adam and Helane are actually graduates of the Con, but even if you had been on campus this year, you wouldn't have actually seen them around uni at all. So that's because they actually don't live in Brisbane. They don't live in Australia. They're actually in Japan. So we're going to have a chat with them now. Adam and Helane, are you there?
Yep.
Hey, great to see you guys. Can you introduce yourselves and just tell us maybe one quirky thing about each of you, that sort of thing?
About each of us? Oh, where's that other thing? Yeah, well, I'm Adam, obviously. Helane. There's just one strange thing about our family. We don't wrap our birthday presents. We hide them all over the house, and then you have to go and find them.
Right, so scavenger hunt approach to a birthday. Yeah, that sounds like fun. So what did you guys study when you're at uni?
You go.
I did violin, performance and pedagogy. And he did composition. Can you tell?
Am I supposed to be able to? I'm not a con grad myself, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
Just wondering, could you guys just both give us a quick kind of history? How did you guys become Christians?
I grew up in a Christian family, and then through youth group and student ministry, I kind of grew in my faith.
Yep.
Yep.
My mother was a Christian, so my parents were divorced, but so she just raised me and my brothers reading the Bible, going to church, and I had a difficult period in high school. My mum actually died when I was 14, and then I didn't go to church for quite a number of years. But at university, I met Helane and was introduced to the Qut Christians group, because there wasn't a group at the Conservatorium at that time. And then through that, I got engaged with churches again and things like that. Yeah.
Cool. So what was it like being a Christian at the Conservatorium when you guys were studying, or just like even coming back to faith, I guess? Adam, like what was it like at uni in those days?
It's a hard question. Yeah, it's daunting. Like there's definitely a very strong, like at the Conservatorium it was different. Everyone's musicians. There was a lot of people that had a Christian background, even if they weren't committed. So it wasn't hard to be a Christian there at that time. And I think even though we started up a Christian group, there wasn't really opposition to it. Only maybe once someone scribbled stuff all over our posters that wasn't very friendly, but that was about it.
They weren't very good posters either.
Well, I made them.
Yeah.
Ours aren't very good at the moment either, because I made them, but that's another story.
It was hard to sort of re-enter Christian culture though, having not been at church for a while, and I have to get used to that. Yeah.
He always said the wrong thing.
Yeah, I always wore the heresy hat, as we had.
He doesn't wear it anymore.
Right. So you guys, you're at a party. This is obviously pre-COVID, and someone says to you, "So, what do you do with yourselves? What's the answer now? I mean, are you musicians? Are you what are you up to these days?"
So if we're in Australia, we say we live in Japan and we work with the Japanese Presbyterian Church to help them to reach Japanese people for Jesus. And if we're in Japan, I just tell people my husband's a pastor and he's working with the church here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So how did you actually get from the Con and studying music to doing that sort of job over in Japan? Can you talk us through like decision-making process? Did you have any training, or did you just decide to go and bought a ticket? Like how did it work for you guys?
So for me, in my very first year of university, I went to media camp, and there were some missionaries there talking about they worked with New Tribes Mission, and so they went to like a tribe in the jungle and then saw that whole tribe transformed, like getting education and Christianity and medicine, and they were always like telling these great stories of being delivered from landslides and demons, and it was just amazing. So I prayed, Lord, I'd like to be a missionary, but I don't want to do it by myself. And And God's response to me at that time was that even if you're on a team or with a family, God's always going to be there. So, yeah, I've wanted to be a missionary since then. And then I met Adam, so he also needed to want to be a missionary. Otherwise, I wasn't going to go near him.
Yeah, well, obviously you're both doing that now. It'll be interesting to hear a bit more about that later. So thanks for sharing with us. Peter's going to take over from here, but I think you guys are going to come back and chat with him a bit later in the meeting. So thanks so much.
Cool.
And on that note, I'm going to invite the Ramsays back so we can ask them how we can be more proactively partnering in the gospel with them as Griffith Christian students, South Bank. So I'll just check that we can hear you again, Adam and Helane. Can you guys speak up?
Yep.
Can you hear us?
Yep, we can. And just once again, I'm really appreciating that Super Mario Brothers wallpaper as well.
He's not doing well.
Yeah, he's getting carpet.
Yeah. Cool. So...
Can I back up one of the things you said?
Sure.
I just want to show you guys something. This is the Bible that I bought for Adam when we were dating. And this is what's in the cover. Can you see what's there?
Yep.
I don't have very good handwriting, so I didn't write it out for him, but I printed it.
That's fantastic.
9 to 11. That was my prayer for him at that time. Yeah. And that's a cute photo.
All right.
Very good.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So obviously those verses are important to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Now, for most people tuning in tonight, doing something like what you guys are doing overseas mission in a foreign country like Japan, it just sounds completely crazy to most of us. So why do you reckon everyone watching this should consider it?
Yeah, I've got 3 reasons. The first one is, like, when we started considering missions, a lot of mission agencies were looking for useful people, like accountants and teachers and mechanics and stuff. And so we had a hard time finding people who were interested in sending musicians, but eventually we did. And we've discovered that being musicians and being in missions is actually a really good fit, because musicians tend to have pretty high standards and also be quite good at working with other people. Like, both of us had played in orchestras and stuff, so we knew how to respond to what everybody else was doing and that kind of thing. So that's one. Number 2, just being who you are right now, those of you who are Christians, you're some of the most educated Christians in the world. So think about how to use that to God's glory. Now, one of those ways might be to go into missions. And also, being in Queensland, it's only an hour flight, and we're only 1 hour time different, so you can still Skype people back home. The third reason...
In Japan, that is.
In Japan. Yeah, if you come into Japan, it'll be really convenient. I can't vouch for any other part of the world. The third reason is that if you, had a bunch of stickers and you wanted to put a sticker on all the things that were around you that were going to last into eternity, it'd only be the people. And so reaching people for Jesus is the only thing that you can do that is actually going to last forever. So for us, the joy of anticipating seeing Japanese Christians in heaven who wouldn't have been there otherwise is one of the things that drives us. So imagine what God could do with you.
That's fantastic. Thanks so much for sharing that. I've got... one other thing to ask you guys about. Sounds like somebody's Skyping here.
Yeah, let's shut that down, shall we?
Love the live tech fails. That's good. I'm just glad it wasn't me.
Oh, it's your family chat.
I mean, you can chat to them. Just let them know they're live on Facebook, I guess.
Okay.
That's done. Yeah. Sorry about that.
That's all right. That's funny. It shows that we're legit. We're, anyway. In tonight's passage, so a passage that you guys are obviously familiar with, it's stuck inside Adam's Bible from all those years ago. We've heard a lot about partnership in the gospel, and gospel partnership is something we'll keep hearing about all through Paul's letter to the Philippians. So I want to ask you guys, what are some ways that we at Griffith Christians Griffin Christian Students South Bank, what are some ways that we as a group can be partnering with you guys in your gospel ministry?
Oh, yeah. What, just the regular things?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just all the normal
I mean,
ways.
you know, we talk about praying, caring, and giving as the three main ways of partnering. And obviously, praying seems self-explanatory, but I mean, we have a newsletter you can sign up for. We have a Facebook page you can like. What's it called? The Ramsays, I think so. And the newsletter, you can get prayer points for us and pray for things that are going on here. And much like people are praying for you guys, what Peter mentioned earlier, caring is, you know, if you want to do things specifically, like we have a need, some people send us a package of something that we need that we can't get. That's what caring is about. And the other one is,
just on caring, if you're praying for us, one of the things we really like is if we've sent an email, like a newsletter out, and people write back straight away and say, "Oh, I prayed for you guys." That's really encouraging because it helps us to know that people read the newsletter and also prayed about the things that we asked for prayer for. And we're pretty good about feeding back about this is how God answered your prayer as well, because that's pretty fun to hear.
Yeah. And then giving financially. We're with CMS, the Church Missionary Society, and you would contact them and give money to us. Well, not us actually, but to CMS and to Christ for the work in Japan. I've
got a good story about that.
Yeah.
We weren't very good when we were back at uni. We never gave to anything, I don't think.
No, we gave to that Mission Australia.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But there's this great story that someone I met through CMS told. She said she was so excited about giving to missions that when she moved out at home and started getting Centrelink, she actually tithed a Centrelink check to CMS. And I was so inspired by that. I thought if she can do it, you know.
Yeah, wow.
That's good.
Okay, so for people who are keen to be more proactive in being gospel partners with you, they can sign up to your prayer newsletter or like your page on Facebook where you post prayer points, and they can give financially. They can reply to your prayer emails and say, "Hey, I've just prayed for you," and they can send you Tim Tams. What's your poison?
Not Tim Tams, because we can buy those.
One church that sent us pavlova eggs.
Yeah, that was good.
Because then we can make really convenient desserts for people that come around.
Yeah.
Wow.
Natural confectionery and Lindt dark chocolate. We've got one family that pray for us when the Lindt chocolate goes on sale, and their little girl was asking us, "How come we always stop in front of the Lindt chocolate?" And they said, "Oh, we're just praying for the Ramsays." Because, we're a bit chocolate snobby.
That's funny. Well, yeah. I got a lot of respect for people who have Lindt dark chocolate, because that's, I won't talk myself up, but that's our preference too. So good on you.
Yeah.
Hey, Adam and Helane, thanks for tuning in with us tonight. Is there anything else you want to say before we pray and finish up?
You say something. You're really good at saying something.
Oh, we're really encouraged to see all of you guys trying to live for Jesus on campus. It's a long, hard road, you know, living for Jesus, but it's the best one. So well done, you chose it.
Cool. That's great.